beauty, blowouts, and backstabbing within the salon industry. Hi, if you're new around here, I'm Bailey Lavender. I'm well known for doing comical skits about the horrendous things that happen within the salon industry and the beauty industry in general. A lot of people don't believe that my stories are real, and so I have gathered up a ton of different stories to tell y'all from other stylists or beauty professionals. Today I'm telling a story that a client actually sent in that they witnessed while sitting in a stylist chair. So let's get started. If you've not done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and you like this video so you can make sure you get to see more of these in the future. If you have a crazy salon story, please make sure you email it into thebaileylavenderhair@gmail.com. If you like true crime, today's episode is for you because this is about a crime that happened in a salon. This blows my mind this has even happened, especially in Canada, because Canada's well known for being super kind and nice. Maybe that's my assumption being in the US, but that's what I know. But I'm ADHD, and so I like to work with my hands. So we're going to get ready together while I tell you this story. But I want to challenge myself. So that means that every time I do an episode, I'm going to do a different type of makeup that I've not done before and try to challenge myself a little bit. Today, we're going to try to do my friend Taj, this makeup. If you see, she has like some gold and some dark color. She's stunning. She's an amazing makeup artist. This is literally she probably threw this together in no time. But I'm going to try to do this. So a lot of stories are sent in from stylists or makeup artists, estheticians, people that work in the salon industry in general. But we also have to remember that sometimes stories will be sent in from someone who witnessed it with their own eyes that don't work in the industry, but simply were sitting in someone's chair, because sometimes people have to sit there for a super long time. The person who sent in this story was sitting in the salon for over 4 hours because what they get done takes over 4 hours. So they witnessed this whole entire encounter firsthand. I love seeing things firsthand. I love drama. With that being said, I told y'all earlier, I'm trying out Taj's makeup look, right? But that also means I have to use her palette because it's only right. She came up with this palette from Blend Bunny. We're going to try it together and try to use some of these, even though, oh, she has the gold. We're good. Taj, I hope you have these colors in here because otherwise I'm going to look real dumb. Anyways, okay, let's get started. While this client is sitting at the salon trying to get their service done, they overhear another stylist calling their client, asking where they are because it's 15 minutes after they're supposed to be at their appointment. Now, mind you, at 15 minutes, a lot of stylists cut you off. You're no longer getting a service done because you're now imposing on other clients that are scheduled for that day. Some stylists, like myself, if I have extra time in the day and you forewarn me, hey, I'm running late, I'm so sorry, and you're not a client that typically does that, I'm gonna let it go. Some stylists don't, because they're setting boundaries. You're gonna respect me, you're gonna respect my time because I'm gonna respect yours, right? So this stylist is calling this client and being like, hey, so you're late, are you good? And she's not heard from, the client doesn't answer. And so she leaves a message, and I was like, hey, it's 15 minutes after your service appointment supposed to have started, trying to check in on you to see if you are coming to your appointment. The client doesn't call back. 45 minutes later, 45 minutes after the client is supposed to have been at her appointment, the client calls and is screaming, is livid. How dare you charge my card? The client that sent in this story is hearing from their chair getting their hair done, can hear this client. We're going to call this client Karen. All right, we're going to call Karen the one that's on the phone screaming, okay? What should we call the client that sit in this story? We're going to call her Allie, okay? Because we don't know. Allie can hear Karen from the phone, and Allie's like, what? Right? So she can hear Karen screaming, livid. Her card was charged for $50 for not showing up to her appointment. Now, mind you, I am a firm believer, if you do not show up for your appointment and you do not give notice at all, and you no-show, then one, you're not getting back on my roster. You're not getting back in my chair unless you pay the cancellation fee. For me personally, if you no-show me without a good reason, there's reasoning, right? If you no-show me without a reason, I don't like keeping cards on file just because I don't work within a big salon. I don't have a processing system that's that great. Like, I don't trust something to be held on file. So for me, you have to pay me what you missed, your full service that you missed when booking your next appointment. Okay. That way I know at least I'm compensated for what you missed for not having a good reason, right? Say you're in the hospital, you're in a coma, something crazy. I'm not going to charge you for that. I'm not a horrible person. You know what I mean? A lifestyle is for human. We get it. We understand things happen. But if you no call, no show, and you're missing your appointment, that stylist who showed up for work is not getting paid. So rightfully so, they charged that card for the appointment that was missed. And from what I understand in the email, the service cost more than $50. So I would have charged the client more. That's just me. Some stylists don't. Some people just have a $50 rate and they call it that. Now, mind you, that could have been the whole charge of the service, but I don't believe that, especially because I feel like a lot of stylists charge more than that, rightfully so, because they are amazing at their craft. So this stylist hears this client losing her marbles on the phone that she got charged $50, and the client or the stylist is telling her, listen, you missed your appointment. I'm so sorry, but unfortunately, this is what happens when you miss your appointment. You were told this when you became my client, that if you call, no show, you're going to miss or you're going to get charged the cancellation fee. It is what it is. Okay. That is very common within the salon industry. The stylist says, I'm sorry, you were at a nail appointment. So you were getting your nails done and missed a service, so now someone can't get paid. Okay, so you're going to get charged. End of story. Right, and so finally, this stylist is like, I'm done with this conversation, and gets off the phone with this lady. I would too. There's nothing else to talk about. I'm charging your card. I'm getting off the phone. So then the client gets really, really mad. Okay, so she's enraged at the fact that she, one, was charged in general, two, that this stylist wouldn't hear her out and understand that she needed to get her nails done. I needed to get my nails done. No. On top of you missing your appointment, you acted that way. You called your stylist and lost your marbles and made a fool of yourself. This is now on you. You were to blame. Okay? As the client, you were to blame. Then 25 minutes goes by and everyone in the salon is bebopping around, having a good day. Everything's great. Everything's merry. Everything's good, right? The situation with the client was resolved. We thought it was done. It wasn't done. 25 minutes later, right? The client shows up. And she's not there to come in and say, hey, I'm so sorry for how I acted. Can I reschedule? Is there any way that I could get back on your books? Or any? No. That is not what happened. That is not what happened. No, this client instead continues to lose her marbles, comes into the salon throwing things, takes the shampoo. Like, you know how sometimes at salons we'll have like shelving, right? Where you have like different products, like shampoo. Like I'm sitting here looking at mine right now. I have like shampoo, I have hair oils, I have brushes, I have dry shampoo, clarifying, leave-in conditioners, like all the different things that a client might need. I have them sitting on shelves just in case someone's like, hey, I need that, I want to take that home. And so a lot of stylists have that just to make sure that their clients, if they want them, they can have them. Some people require their clients to get them, whatever it may be. That's none of my business. They had shampoo there, they had product there, and they had a tall shelf of it, and they had a lot of expensive shampoo. This client comes in and slamming it, right? Throwing that shampoo and all the products on the floor, busting everywhere. The product is going all over her, all over the stylists that are trying to stop her, all over the clients that are in range. Like it is getting everywhere. It's getting on the couches and on the chairs of sitting area. Like it is on the rug of everything. This lady has lost her marbles. Like who does that? Who goes into a place and it's like, I'm going to ruin something. I'm just going to ruin it just for shits and giggles, right? No. In the midst of all this, right, you have to remember that there are clients, right, trying to dodge shampoo bowl or shampoos that are getting thrown, like flying everywhere, busting, like there's shampoo product everywhere. And on top of all of that, you have to think, too, this is also a slip hazard. like this is a spill hazard, or whatever you want to call it. Like if someone is trying to get out of the way of the product that's flying everywhere, there is a high probability that they're going to slip on the product that's spraying everywhere, that's liquid, and or the bottles that are falling that literally are probably rolling everywhere. Like there's a major problem within this outside of the fact that the client's losing her mind, right? And so while this is all happening, I'm not laughing at this, is not funny. A elderly woman is shoved over and falls. And I believe she said that she hurt her wrist or her ankle, one of the extremities. With that being said, the lady doesn't stop, okay? The lady doesn't, oh my God, I've taken this too far. I am so sorry, whatever it may be. She continues on, still throwing things, still aggravated, still losing her marbles. Over $50 at an appointment that she didn't show up for, that she was in the wrong to begin with. Okay? Are we catching that? Are we grabbing that? If you think otherwise, I'm right. And on top of that, depending on what that salon has, right? Different salons have different things where they're set up, right? Where some people have to go in and get product. So that client or that stylist may have already gone and gotten that client's product, and now they're not going to get paid for it, and now they're in the negative. That client or that stylist just has to sit there, and they could have had someone wanting that spot, but they kept that slot for the client that didn't show, and so now they can't get paid. It's one of those situations. A lot of people don't agree with stylists that charge cancellation fees, and I've never fully understood that. Maybe it's because I come from a line of entrepreneurs and I'm fully aware that time is money. Besides the point. While all of this is going on, while this lady is losing her marbles and acting an absolute fool within the salon, other clients are watching this happen. And a lot of times, I'll be honest with you, a lot of times our clients become our friends or like family. We get very close to the people that we're working on, because if you think about it, right, our clients, we are with them through a lot. We're with them through a lot. Like I have been through divorces, marriages, infertility, childbirth. I've been through really bad home lives to really good home lives. I've been through like cancer treatments with clients. Like there's a lot that a stylist will go through the stages of life. If you stay loyal with the stylist, that they're watching everything happen within your life, that you become very close with them. So you become their friend, or you become friends with your stylist, and you're going to protect your friend. You're going to protect the people around you, right? That you care about. The clients that are sitting in these stylist chairs are having enough. This is enough. We're also clients. We also understand the cancellation fee. We are all in this. We all scheduled appointments. We came in for someone to do a service on our hair that we decided that we wanted, and now we're paying for it. Like if I didn't show up for an appointment, I'm fully aware they're going to charge me for it. And you are aware when you scheduled this appointment. That's what's going through these clients' heads, right? So, and ultimately, this is their friend. This is someone they care about. And even if it's not someone they care about or even know well enough to call a friend, you don't treat other humans disrespectfully. Okay? End of story. You treat other people with respect. Period. End of story. Done. But this client that sent in the email says that she had had enough, right? And so she looks at this lady and is like, you need to calm down and you need to shut the blank up. And you need to either leave, or you need to apologize, or you need to help clean up. Like there's a lot of things that can happen here, but how you're reacting right now is not one of them, right? So she's telling this lady pretty much to calm down and get out, ultimately. And this lady does not like that. This lady is livid that this client would step out of line and that she would think that it's okay to have a conversation with her. And so at that point, the screaming goes from directly to the stylist that charged her for the appointment that she missed to everyone, including the stylist or the clients that are sitting in these stylist chairs. So I'm a firm believer that if I see something, I'm going to say something. I'm not going to just allow someone to get berated in that aspect. Like if I was that client, I would have done the exact same thing, because I go to salon and I get my hair done. I go to coffee shops. I go, like, if in general, if someone is acting ridiculous, a lot of times the staff can only do so much because they're trying to de-escalate the situation, but also trying to remember that it is their job. It is their career. And a lot of times, a lot of people won't step in. And I don't agree with that. Like, if you are seeing something that's wrong, step in and do something. Maybe I was raised different. That's just how I was raised to treat other human beings on this world, but whatever. At that point, Karen is losing her marbles on everybody, right? She has hurt an elderly woman. She has also broken that elderly woman's walker. I believe they said it was like a $2,500 walker. And she is just irate, right? So the stylist at that point, the stylist who was supposed to be working on her and the other ones around were like, listen, if you don't calm down, we're going to have to call the police. Like, you have got to get your life together. This is not okay. This is not how you act in public, nor how we're going to allow you to act here, right? And so that pisses Karen off even worse. And so she gets mad again. She's screaming more. She's losing her marbles. And mind you, like, people are watching this happen and she doesn't care. She just keeps on trucking with how she's acting, with how she thinks this is okay. And so finally she goes to try to leave. The stylist in there, band together, right? And they're like, no, you're not going to treat any of us this way, nor are you going to treat my coworker that way. I'm not all right with this. You're not leaving. And so she gets even more mad. Well, police get there and she, I guess, was unaware, but there's cameras everywhere, like in the salon. So every viewpoint that this client did something, said something, was out of line, lost her marbles, right, was caught on camera. So they call the police. The police get there and literally can watch everything happening on the video cameras and are like, man, you're going to jail. And not only did everyone press charges, the salon owner and everybody that was harmed within it, so did the elderly lady. This Karen was charged with, oh my God, back up. I completely forgot to tell you this. In the midst of her screaming, right? In the midst of Karen losing her marbles on clients, on the stylist, on everyone. She's not only screaming, she's not only thrown everything product-wise everywhere and thrown an elderly lady to the floor. She also then gets out her pepper spray and starts pepper spraying people in there. Okay? So that's when they ultimately like really call the cops, right? Because like at that point, you've assaulted someone. Like, that is assault. Okay? This client, this Karen, she is charged with a weapon, which is the pepper spray, assault on the elderly woman, and destruction of property because of the product that she completely and utterly destroyed, right? On top of all of that, the elderly lady also sues her. Because not only she broke her walker that was close to $2,500, supposedly, it's not allegedly, this is just what I was told, and for her medical fees, because remember, she not only broke her wheelchair walker, but also broke either her wrist or her ankle. I can't exactly remember which one she said. She pepper sprays these people. And I don't know, I've never been pepper sprayed. But with that being said, I've also heard from the grapevine, because I have plenty of family members that have been previous cops, friends that have been previous cops, that are current cops. Like, I know plenty of people within law enforcement, and not just cops, within the military as well, that they have had to go through different training and understand different things. Sometimes I've heard of like people having to be tased to understand what that feels like. Some people have had to be pepper sprayed so that they know what that feels like. And I think a part of it's also training and like knowing how to deal with it if you are pepper sprayed or tased. I don't know. That's maybe my assumptions. But I can't imagine a client coming in and being that upset. Now, I have seen where clients come in, right, and they were charged a cancellation fee. Like this one time in particular, this client came in and she was charged from her stylist. We were all booth rent, right? This client came in and she was livid because she was charged a cancellation fee for a service that she no-showed for. She didn't, as far as I'm aware, did not tell the stylist why she didn't show up, right? Because, like I said earlier on, a lot of stylists will give you some leniency, a little bit of understanding if they know why. Now, are there stylists out there that are like, absolutely not, you didn't show, I don't care if there's something horrendous going on in your family or at home, I don't care, I'm getting my money? Yes, there are. There are stylists out there. I'm not going to call them bad stylists because that's not fair. That's how they're making their money, and that's one of their rules. And a lot of times when you start working with a stylist, meaning like being their client, you are told those rules in advance. You have to sign something a lot of the times. So that is something that you kind of sign up for, is knowing their rules and policies, or they have them posted somewhere. A lot of stylists post their rules and regulations, policies on their website or on their social media accounts. And I rarely have ever had to actually charge someone because of how I do my work, right? I typically am just out money, and that's annoying. It is what it is. And that is something that I have to deal with, and that's my problem. A lot of stylists that I've talked to in the past are like, Bailey, that's dumb. You really should charge them. I know. So this client comes in and she's livid that her stylist charged her the cancellation fee. She had a reason, but she didn't tell her stylist. From what I remember, I don't remember if it was a good reason or not. But she no-showed and her stylist didn't know why she didn't show. And so she charged her card because she tried to get in touch with her. She didn't answer. And so she charged her, right? Because a lot of stylists keep card numbers on hand so that they can charge you if you no-show them. It's very normal. And so the stylist didn't refund the money, but she used it towards her next appointment. There's so many different ways that stylists go about like checking in on their clients or like doing right by them. Like a lot of the times, like I said, you're dealing with a human being, and a lot of us want to make sure that you're okay. We care about you. We're not just trying to be like total assholes for no reason, but we also have to make sure that our bills are paid, that our kids are taken care of. And if it's you're going to get your nails done, of course I'm going to charge you for an appointment that you no-called, no-showed, and I tried to call you about 15 minutes after the time that you were supposed to be here and you didn't answer. So yes, I'm going to charge you. Like, duh. What are y'all's thoughts? Let me know what y'all's thoughts are on cancellation policies. If you believe that someone should have the right to charge your card, or if you should just be able to no call, no show and not have any repercussions. I really am curious about that because I've heard such mixed signals of like, yes, it's okay to let someone show up to work. I actually had a friend yesterday who works in the salon industry where one of her first appointment of the day thought that her appointment was starting at a different time and then showed up super late, even though she had been trying to call her all morning. And then she didn't have time for her because her second appointment of the day, that were supposed to be both super long appointments, was supposed to be coming in within an hour, and the first appointment was supposed to take longer. And so she was like, hey, so sorry you can't, like, I don't have time for you now because you no-showed your original appointment. And then, so she was like, I'm just going to reschedule you because mistakes happen, right? She waits around for her second appointment to come. No calls, no shows again. So this stylist had gone all day sitting at the salon, pretty much waiting. And then she calls the first appointment. She's like, hey, my second appointment didn't show. Do you still want to get your hair done? You can come back now. And she's like, no, I don't have time now. That happens more often than you think. The funniest, it's not funny because someone got hurt, things were broken, stylists were pepper sprayed. Like, it's not funny. But what I find the strangest, whatever you want to call it, part about all of this is the fact that to me, I've always overheard and always had the assumption that people in Canada are the nicest humans alive, right? That is just what has been told to me my entire life. And mind you, I live in the South. I've lived in the Carolinas my entire life. So maybe that is just an assumption that has been told to me and I believed it, but I've always been told that people in Canada are the kindest, sweetest human beings out there. And so for someone to treat another human being this way, to ruin product, to harm other human beings, to throw a hissy fit to this degree as a grown woman, it is astounding to me. Who does that? I want to know. If y'all have any crazy stories, And that doesn't just mean if you're a stylist or if you're a makeup artist, if you're a bridal artist, you don't have to be licensed in the industry to have had a crazy story within the salon industry. You can be a client like this client who witnessed the horrible interaction where Karen thought that it was okay to act that way, and it's not. It's not okay to be a horrible human being. And on this channel, I'm going to continue to call people out on their horrendous actions that they think is okay. If you're a bad boss, if you're a bad client, if you're a bad coworker, I'm calling you out. You can't act like that. People, stop acting like... I'm not used to having this much eyeshadow on Taj. Yours looks a lot better. This is what Taj looks like. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for watching this whole video. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Comment down below what you thought about this story. If you have any crazy stories, make sure you send it into vbaileylavenderhair@gmail.com. I appreciate every single one of you. I love you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, y'all.